Hey there guys, EctoMaster here once again, and I'm doing a bit of an update. I'm not just going to be hitting on World of Warcraft and Star Wars. I'm sorry, I almost gave one of the games away right there. I'm also going to hit on to Rift and Star Trek Online. Now, I'm not going to really hit on Star Trek Online too much, just going to be a quick little blip. So let's start things off. Usually I start it off with WoW, but I'm going to say WoW to the very end because it has the most information. I'm going to go to Star Wars first. It did have a hotfix the other day, and it's a rather easy hotfix. All they did, PvP, Ilum, whatever it's called, killing players on insert planet name here and how you want to say it, will now consistently grant Valor and mission credit as intended. That's it. Patch 1.1.2a. And that's all it did. Nothing else, nothing major. Just a quick little hotfix so that it could do that. Yeah. Alright. So moving on, Rift. We'll go on to Rift next. Now I got this email into my box the other day. Rift is on 1.7 and the biggest thing to come is Rift Lite. And want to experience Solaria before you subscribe? Rift Lite makes levels 1 through 20 available for free with no time restrictions. Now anyone with a Tryon Worlds account can download Rift and help fight the Bloodstorm. And I will take a look into this. I did play Rift for about a month and a half. To me there was too many choices to decide. I kept on making characters left and right, and the one thing I hate the most with a game is doing the same starting area over and over. But I'll get into that at a later date. Like I said, I think I'm going to do a bit of a playthrough on Rift. Just kind of show you, I know it's a year old and whatnot, but, show you my take on Rift Lite. That wasn't the only thing to come from Rift 1.7. There was, let's see, the River of Souls Chronicle, disguised as cultists of the Endless Court. You and an ally, or maybe just you, must sneak into the River of Souls to foil Albeth's schemes. Terrible foes and an old friend await in our Albeth's schemes. Period. Terrible foes and an old friend await in our latest chronicle for 1 or 2 ascended. PvP improvements. The prestige system gets major improvements, changing the number of ranks to 40. We're removing prestige requirements for PvP gear and rolling PvP soul abilities and benefits into their own planar attunement tree. Expert mode. Advanced Dungeoneers now have more adventurers to choose from. As Tier 1 and Tier 2 have merged, Expert mode dungeons become a single category in LFG, sporting trials and rewards on par with Tier 2. Master mode Caduceus Rise. Take your elite group into the second Master mode dungeon. Caduceus Rise gets the hardcore upgrade with badder bosses, bigger fights, and the richest rewards you can get without raiding. Endgame gear gets an upgrade. Tons of level 45 plus equipment gets a boost in power to help you better face your foes across Talaria. Or Talara, or however it goes. Pre-made soul templates. New to Rift, new to a calling, or just looking to streamline your ascended. Optional soul templates guide you through soul trees, abilities, and hotbars, tailoring a character to any combat role. My take on that in a second. And of course, Carnival of the Ascended also brings in weddings. You can marry in Rift now, for whatever reason. Ascended weddings. Even immortal Ascended need to share eternity with the one they love. Amid the horrors of the Rift's Guardians, the Defiant have each created a ritual pledge of undying devotion. Invite your friends and allies to witness your in-game nuptials just in time for Valentine's Day. Aww. Now, my take on the pre-made soul template, that's kind of, I'm going to compare everything to World of Warcraft for a moment because it's the biggest MMO. It's still going strong. And again, I'll get to that in a second. But let's take a look at this for a moment. The whole reason that WoW is getting rid of the talent trees of how they are is that there is way too many options and there are way too many cookie cutter modes. There are you go out and go, all right, I'm going to play a Beastmaster hunter, and I'm going to control some of these awesome animals out there, and I'm just going to kick everybody's butt. But at the same time, with Rift, they're just putting this here for you. They're just saying, here, this is how you do it. And to me, that's not how I want to play a game. I want to choose a spec, and I want to choose my talents as I see fit, and not, oh, we're going to go do this, and we're going to go do this, and we're going to, and you have to do this, and this. And if you have this, and this, get rid of it and replace it with ACDB. Yes, I said ACDB. Rather than, oh, so I'm going to have EFGH instead of ABCD. And yeah, it gets too convoluted for me, and I don't like when a game is holding your hand and telling you this is what you have to do. I don't mind when it's a linear game. In the game you progress from point A to point B, from point B to point C, and you can't go from point B to point D without skipping C because there may be repercussions because of that. That's fine. That's one thing. A linear game is one thing. As much as Star Wars totes that it isn't, it actually really is, but that's besides the point. A linear game is one thing. A game telling you can only take this option, that's not really something I look forward to. But again, I'll touch on like Rift Right, yes. Rift Light later on. Now, I also said Star Trek Online. I got an email the other day. Star Trek Online has a free-to-play model now. And I'll touch on that as well. Just briefly, though, I didn't like the fact that I pulled up the whole system, made a character, and wanted to check out one of the other characters, and you can only have one. That's it. Only one character, no more, no less. Well, less would be 0, so you wouldn't have any. But that's it. That's all you can make is one character. But again, I'll touch on to this. I was in the beta when it was there, but I never purchased the real game, the full game. I was too embedded into WoW at the time, so I couldn't afford to get that. Now, speaking of World of Warcraft. Wow. Blizzard? Really, guys? I put out a video saying nothing has been updated, and next thing I know, a few hours later, hot fixes. You could have told me. February 7th, 4.3.2 had some hot fixes. Dragon Soul, after the incident is cleared, Crimson Lightbinder now resurrects the non-player characters at Warm Rest Temple, and they are fully functional. Altraxion, the event leading to Altraxion now requires 15 drakes killed, down from 24. A lot of people are going to cry nerf. I'm going to say bull, because I like this. As a Death Knight, I couldn't hit anything. There was a bug with those dragons. I couldn't even touch them. The fact that they brought it down, they dropped it 9, perfectly fine with me. Just because I could not, it was hit or miss with killing those guys, and then you had to run over and get ready for Altraxion. The fact that they lowered that number, that's great. Events. Love is in the air. Players are now able to receive lovely charms while on the quest Test Your Strength. One of the players' inventory has both the Dark Moon Adventurer's Guide and Lovely Charm Collector's Kit, which is nice. So you're sitting there and you're not getting one or the other. That's kind of good that they can get both at once now. Players now have the chance to receive both the Lovely Charms and Grizzly Trophy from a single kill. That's nice. That's really good. Lunar Festival. Elder Dawn Strider now spawns further away from nearby Flamecrest mobs. Okay. Again, Lunar Festival is another one I never really got into. And then just a couple of items updates. Mob, the Dragon Lord, should now have its effect triggered by healing from Holy Ward. Boy, I am just all over the place with words today. And that's the word I'm trying to say. Word. Holy Word Sanctuary. Windward Heart should now have its effect triggered properly by Healing Rain. Healing Rain. But yep, that's it. That's all they had was some hot fixes. Now, that's not the only WoW news. They did have their Quarter 4 reports for 2011. Now, the only thing to worry about with WoW, World of Warcraft now has 10.2 million active subscribers. Not just 10.2 subscribers, but 10.2 million. So they lost 100,000 subscribers down to 10.2 million from quarter 3 to quarter 4. A total loss of 1.8 million for the year. Now everybody is still crying, WoW killer, WoW killer, WoW is doomed. 1.8 million from the launch of Cataclysm. So it was in a year they lost 1.8 million. They made strides in gold farming. They've made strides against, they made strides against gold farming. I haven't seen as many random accounts just spelling out words in the streets of Orgrimmar. I used to see it at least once a day. I haven't seen it in a long, long time. So I do think they have made some strides there. The other thing to point out that 10.2 million, they said at best, Star Wars has 1 million. So it's still only a tenth of what WoW has. And you could even attribute the ones that left went to Star Wars. There we go. They're looking at Diablo 3's launch in quarter 2. More than 1 million annual passes have been sold in the West. That means that annual pass, 1 million people at least have purchased it. Blizzard's happy with the subscription numbers being held up during that competitive quarter. And most competitive quarter ever. And that's about it, guys. I said December was a good month for us. Okay? I'm not going to disagree or argue. I still like the game. And if you don't, well, hey, like what you like and like what you don't. That's what I always believe. Other than that, that is everything that we have here. I will leave links to some of this. More than likely, the link for World of Warcraft will be the 2 links. And they'll be both lead to MMO. That's where I got the information from. I'm not going to take their stuff away from them. Other than that, that's about everything that we've had. So we'll see you guys next time. And like I said, we'll work on a video for Rift and Star Trek Online as soon as I get the chance. But until then, see you guys the next